Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills. Behind the camera, this is Aram Salegian, the San Gabriel Valley Newspaper Group football writer, joined by on the left, the King of Colorado Boulevard, the Cardinal of Colorado, Miguel Melendez, the Pasadena Star-News Prep Sports editor, and on the right, Fred J. Robledo, former Pasadena Star-News Prep Sports editor, who knows a thing or two about Monrovia football, and he is the current San Gabriel Valley Tribune Prep Sports editor, so he knows a thing or two about Covina football as well. Guys, we are talking about the big one. It is finally here. It's the game that everybody was pointing to all season long in the Mid-Valley Division. Freddie, Miguel, if you think back to the time I gave the old practice ambush to Covina, that is, and in the middle of that video back in August, I said, hey, Monrovia, you seeing this? You kind of just knew that we were going to get to this point, and here it is coming up on Friday night at Covina District Field, 7 p.m. kickoff, Monrovia 9-3, Covina 11-1.
I mean, not only is it here, Aram, these two teams are playing spectacular when you think of what Monrovia has done in the first two rounds of the playoffs. Because I was one of those guys who there were some questions because of what they did in the non-league, losing to a team like San Dimas earlier in the year, and we knew they would kind of roll through the Rio Hondo League. And they were in that little group of death that we talked about where they had to beat Pomona, who was playing really well. Whittier Christian, a team I think no one really wanted to play because they're from the Olympic division and they won the league title. And you wondered if those teams can make a run to the championship. And Monrovia just smoked both of those teams. And you have Covina doing what I think you thought they would do too in the playoffs, which is roll to this point. And now they got him at home. Vinny Venegas, Aram, 6 touchdowns last week in their big win. I mean, this really does set up, to me, as the real championship game. And I'm not trying to disrespect San Gabriel or San Dimas down in the bottom half. And I know San Dimas beat Monrovia earlier in the year. They're saying, Freddie, what are you talking about? Really. But right now, this point in the season, week 13, these are the best two teams in the Mid-Valley, and they're going to meet at the district field.
Yeah, no question about it. And I had mentioned earlier in the season, I think maybe when the playoff brackets came out, maybe this is a Monrovia team that's like the Lakers, that they thrive off the playoffs. They wait till the playoffs, they turn it up, and you're like, no, this team can't turn it up like that anymore, given how they've played so inconsistently. But this is exactly what they're doing now. They drop almost 70 points on Whittier Christian. That's unheard of in the playoffs. I mean, how do you give up that many points? And the answer is Deshaun Ramirez. This kid, he wasn't. They were lining up at slot receiver. I was wondering about that too. And Steve Ramirez was there, but I wonder if he had some touches in the backfield and whether they moved him around. Yeah. But Deshaun Ramirez is a guy who can turn things up on one play. Marquise Baez is their one running back who has accounted for a bunch of yards during the playoffs. But Deshaun Ramirez is their playmaker who can make things on his own, and it's exactly what he did against Whittier Christian last week.
Yeah. Guys, you know, I've seen both of these teams, and I'm very happy to say that. You know, going back to summer, when you saw Monrovia, you could not be anything but impressed by their amazing level of talent. I mean, looks-wise, they're just a beautiful team to go look at. And yeah, we all had to wonder over the past, 10 weeks or so whether, did they put things together or did they just kind of cruise through a weak Rio Hondo League and it kind of looked as if they did.
It's a little of both.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of both, Fred. I would agree with you because as good as Whittier Christian is and as tough as Pomona was or as better Pomona was this year, there are really only 3 marquee teams in this division, in my opinion. San Dimas, Covina, and Monrovia itself. And this is
called the so-called traditional powers,
right. At least this year. And Covina, has already played one of those marquee teams and they smoked them. Monrovia has already played one of those marquee teams and they got smoked themselves. People want to talk about Monrovia's, speed and their talent and all this stuff. Guys, this Covina team has excellent size. It's got one of the better. I mean, you would hear Billy Livingston's name left and right, Fred. You know this. A, if he didn't get injured this year, and B, if we didn't have guys like Steven Rivera and Travis Santiago setting records all over the place. Billy Livingston is on that level, in my opinion. I mean, the guy can play. I mean, the guy can get the ball all around. Fred, this Covina team, they are loaded with talent, just like Monrovia.
Yeah, and that's what makes them dangerous. It's not just Billy Livingston. You got to worry about Javante Ainsworth.
Right.
You got to worry about Vinny Venegas, as we spoke about.
What about Mason, the big 6'6" kid outside?
Yeah. And they have a defense that's really physical and I think can stand up to Monrovia. But look, I'm not ready. I think this is going to be a heavyweight fight. And I don't think you can really go in this and say, with certainty that you really like Monrovia,
Yeah,
you really like Covina.
I agree.
This is going to come down to the team that makes plays, that doesn't make mistakes. And I know that's cliche and you say it a lot.
I agree.
But I think especially for a game like this, because I think both of them are capable of beating each other. I mean, they match up so well, Aaron, when you think of the athletic standpoint, size standpoint, big playmakers. That's why it's the game I think everyone wants to see. And if there is a little advantage, I think Covina playing on grass on a natural surface at the district field helps them. I just think they play there all the time and they're used to it. That's a home surface for them. I'm not saying it's going to make that big of a deal,
right.
But I'm picking Covina and I have to have some little reason why. So not that I'm leaning on the field, but I'm saying, I just like Covina because this has been the team that's had to live being #1 all year and has actually answered that challenge. I thought they played spectacular that first game of the year against West Covina, and that's the thing about them. They really haven't had that learning curve that they had to go through earlier in the year. They've been good from the get-go. They've been answering these questions, and I think finally, I think they've been waiting for this game, and I think they're going to get it done when it comes.
Well, Fred, the trouble for you and me is that we haven't seen Monrovia, the new Monrovia. Yeah. You saw them earlier this year against South Hills. I saw them earlier this year against Arcadia. Not their best work, obviously. Right. So it's hard for us to sit here and say, because if we're talking about the team that I saw against Arcadia, Covina's going to beat them, and I could say that with relative certainty. But if they have legitimately turned it around, and Miguel, you can help us answer this, if they have legitimately turned around, and it looks like they certainly have on defense, they're just not giving up anything, then yes, this can be that heavyweight fight that you've seen. But if if Pomona wasn't as good as we thought, if Whittier Christian was not the Whittier Christian of the past 2 years, if the Rio Hondo League was as bad as we thought, then Covina's going to have its way with this team, man, because this Covina team is fantastic. It is. Miguel, we need your help telling us whether Monrovia has legitimately turned it around, put all the talent together, and has it meshing. It looks like they have.
No, this will be a heavyweight bout. I mean, I think to say that maybe Pomona wasn't the team we thought, or to say that Whittier Christian wasn't the team we thought.
I think they were the teams we thought.
These two teams exactly were the teams people were expecting. They were they matched up great with Pomona, and look at what they did with Pomona. I mean, you got to give Monrovia credit for coming out and just dominating both of these teams in just in an unbelievable fashion. And I wonder, Freddie, if maybe your stance on McCarthy has changed a little, given that he's not, like you say, a playmaker, but look at what he's done with that defensive line. He created 9 sacks for his teammates. He only had 1 out of those 9 sacks against Pomona. Schultz had 3. Casas, these guys were getting in, wreaking havoc. So I wonder if McCarthy will be going one-on-one against Covina. Well, he's going to get double team or even triple team.
I never said he wasn't a big influence. I just said I didn't think he had the impact sometimes that a quarterback or running back can have. But obviously at his position, he can be dominant. I think when I think about Monrovia right now, they did win the championship last year. This is still their division to lose. And I think they have a lot of prideful kids. They have a lot of athletes. And the same thing when you look at Muir, when you get in these situations, I think they're thriving on it right now because people have sort of counted them out. And the last thing you want to do is count out a defending champion that is this talented. And I think they've thrived on some of that, us riding. They might have problems against Pomona. They might have problems against Whittier Christian. And we're saying the same thing against Covina. I think that's why you're getting your best game from an emotional standpoint out of Monrovia.
Well,
and when you have an emotional team that plays hard and physical, sometimes, Aaron, that's enough.
I don't quite agree with that statement, because I think that for the Monrovia fans to be sitting here, saying, well, this division and their whole season is as easy as when we mesh and put it together, no one can stop us, does not do justice to just how good Covina is. Monrovia, you're going to need your best shot to beat them. And even with your best shot, even if you are cohesive and a different team than you were before, you still may not beat Covina because they are that good. And to sit here and say, well, all we need to do is kind of put things together and we'll just blow by everyone, and look, we've put things together, does not give Covina enough credit.
On?
Huh?
Do you think the pressure's on?
I think it's equal. I really do.
Pressure on Covina. I mean,
I don't agree with that at all.
I think everyone's.
And by the way, Covina's seen a big time defense before. They played West Covina.
Yeah, but you've got to do it again. I mean, that was in week 0. That was in August.
I don't think they'll have any problem doing it again.
I just wonder if Covina, they've pretty much rolled through the season, and whereas Monrovia, they've faced some adversity. They know what it's like to be down. They know what it's like to have to put up a rally. And I wonder if Covina's just smooth process throughout the way has maybe at the end of the day made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both teams are going to be fired up.
Okay, make your picks. Hurry up.
I like Covina.
Okay, yeah, you like Covina, Fred.
I like Covina.
I like Covina. I like Covina as well. But fans, get out there. Everyone's going to be there. This is going to. Steve Ramirez likes Monrovia. Okay, so we're 2-2. Get out there to Covina District Field on Friday night. Should be awesome. Covina and Monrovia semifinals. The winner punches his ticket.